Assalamualaikum, I am NURUL NASUHA BINTI IRHAM. The title of my research is Using Scattered Letters to Improve Spelling Skills Among Year 1 Pupils. The action research was conducted in one of rural schools in Miri, Sarawak. The purpose of this action research was to improve my practice in the teaching of English words, spelling, and help pupils to improve their spelling skills through scattered letters. Scattered letters is a language game where the players have to rearrange the letters to make a meaningful word. 12 research participants were involved. There were Year 1 pupils of 3 with good proficiency, 4 with average proficiency, and 5 with low proficiency. At the end of the research, 9 participants showed improvement in their spelling skills. Research participants did not take an active role in the selection of spelling words, as the selection of spelling words was mainly done by the researcher based on the sight words in the textbook. Exploration and integration on the role of a trained peer tutor or spelling buddy in improving spelling skills among pupils can be done in the future, as well as the application of technology. So in my research, there are three keywords: spelling skills, rearranged letters, and language game. I am a beginner teacher majoring in TESOL. I was assigned a Year 1 class with pupils of different abilities, social as well as cultural background, in one of rural schools in Miri, Sarawak. There were 12 pupils in the class with 10 boys and 2 girls. Most of my pupils have limited vocabulary and have high anxiety in using English language. They also rarely speak in targeted language during the lesson. During my previous teaching practice as a beginner teacher, I taught Year 1, Year 3, and Year 5 classes. My pupils faced difficulties in spelling the words correctly. The problem resulted from their own language interference, where pupils try to apply the knowledge of spelling in first language, which is Iban language, and Malay language into the spelling of English words. Spelling is important as it is closely linked to vocabulary mastery, reading fluency, and comprehension. I try to address the problem by using spelling bee book, yes sir, spell it right card, and reward system. Pupils were asked to do the correction too so that they were aware of the errors. In my second year of teaching, I encountered the same problem. Most of my Year 1 pupils have problems in learning vocabulary. They often make mistakes in spelling English words too. My pupils tend to change some letters into Iban language or Malay language spelling, such as book or book for book. Book is book in Iban language and book is the Malay language spelling. The problem also emerges because there are some differences between the spelling of English and Malay language. There are many ways to spell in English language which are not found in the first language and Malay language. The k sound can be spelled with several different letters and letter combinations, such as K for king, C for cat, and CK for black. It is important to note that English language is not their mother tongue or first language. The young learners learn words from the people with whom they live, and most of the people with whom they live do not speak English language frequently. Therefore, these young learners have less contact with the targeted language in their daily life. The use of English language is limited as it is only used when they are in school. Therefore, teachers should take initiative in creating fun and relaxing atmosphere where the pupils are able to practice the targeted language confidently and in a meaningful way. I believe the pupils should be given ample opportunities to practice the vocabulary acquired which includes the word spelling in written form as frequently as possible so that they are familiar with the English words. I hope to adopt and adapt a method to teach spelling through jumble letter game. Scattered letters is a subset designed to solve the issue of concern in this research. Now, based on the problem identified, I decided to carry out an action to lessen my pupils' error in their spelling. Two focuses were selected in this research that consisted of method of improving pupils' spelling skill through scattered letters and technique in improving pupils' spelling skill. I identified two research objectives for this research in relation to the research focus. I aim to improve on my own teaching practice for spelling using scattered letters and explore how scattered letters helps young pupils to improve their spelling skill. The research questions posed in the study were as following. How does scattered letters help to improve my teaching practice for spelling? And how does scattered letters help young pupils to improve their spelling skill? Let's get to know spelling and its relation to language skills. Poor spelling can interfere with our basic ability to communicate and literacy development, as spelling and reading skills are closely related. For young children, research clearly indicates that spelling supports learning to read, and for older children, it's likely that learning about the meaningful relationships between words will contribute to vocabulary growth and reading comprehension. Teaching young learners the strategies, rules, and concepts to grow the spelling and vocabulary knowledge benefits them in all aspects of their learning, as well as in their everyday life. Catherine Snow et al. Summarized the real importance of spelling for reading as follows. Spelling and reading build and rely on the same mental representation of a word. Knowing the spelling of a word makes the representation of it sturdy and accessible for fluent reading. Research has also found that spelling, reading, writing, and comprehension skills are all closely related. A research study conducted by Elsie Airy for the scientific study of reading has proven that spelling instruction improves reading ability as it builds a learner's knowledge of the alphabetic system as it is used in reading. Bess also stated that building a strong foundational knowledge of the links between forms, letters, sounds, and meaning is essential for students to become confident communicators. Learners who feel confident with letters and word patterns are able to read and comprehend more complex texts. They also have the necessary language tools to better convey their own ideas through both written and verbal communication. Three methods were used to collect data in this research. The methods were observation, interview, and document analysis. The first method chosen was observation. Pupils' ability in fulfilling the research objectives as well as their behavior was observed in every session conducted. Interviews were carried out once the intervention was completed. The interview plan for this research was semi-structured. The last method used to collect data in this research was document analysis. I analyzed the words that were spelled by the pupils in scattered letters sheet. The tool that is used for the implementation of action is scattered letters sheet. Each pupil was given a sheet for every session. They were asked to rearrange the jumble letters. The list of jumble letters were based on the words that they learned. Here are the findings of my research. Alright, how does scattered letters improve my practice in teaching spelling skills for English as a second language in Year 1 classroom? This research allowed me to come up with alternatives to teach spelling skill among Year 1 pupils by referring to methods in English language teaching. Scattered letters is adapted from jumble letter game, which is a kind of language game that requires the pupils to arrange the letters into specific word in target language. Previously, I only used a spelling bee book, yes sir card, and reward system. Useful it may be, but It was not enough to make pupils to be motivated and aware of the letter pattern of words. How does scattered letters help Year 1 pupils to improve their spelling skill? Well, pupils' ability in word spelling increase. It is proven from the number of misspelling words which were reduced from time to time. Besides, pupils learn the letter pattern of the word through phonemic awareness and blending. They were also able to apply the knowledge when arranging the jumble letters to form the words that were pronounced by teacher. The result of this study suggests that scattered letters improve my personal teaching practice and learning of vocabulary, especially spelling among Year 1 pupils. I managed to come up with other alternatives to teach spelling skill through this action research. Writing skill is also integrated in this research as pupils spell words in their exercise book or scattered letter sheets several times. Scattered letters help the teacher to create context in which the language is useful and meaningful. Learning to spell and learning to read rely on much of the same underlying knowledge, which is the relationship between the letters and sounds. Designing a language game to help children better understand that key knowledge may result in good reading fluency and comprehension. You want pupils who are getting into new language might benefit from engaging in spelling word games. Spelling is a difficult process, but if these young learners are able to grasp its structure, it will be easier for them to decode the words in the future. Engaging in the spelling word games also helps these young learners understand the importance of having good vocabulary while having fun and meaningful experience in the process. The student can attempt, fail, and try again without the fear of repercussions. Spelling word games encourage them to learn from their mistakes. One limitation that can be found was the sample of the study. It only focused in one group of the sample, so the result cannot be compared whether there is a significant difference or not. Another limitation to the current study was a limited amount of time, which is 4 weeks, to experiment with this intervention. This study would have been more effective if it is conducted for an entire school year. The intervention in the study provides opportunity for sufficient practice and feedback. However, pupils did not take an active role in the selection of spelling words, particularly by tracking words misspelled during written language activities. The selection of spelling words was mainly done by the teacher, based on the sight words in the textbook. In the future, I would like to use a quasi-experimental design or pre-experimental design with one group pre-test, post-test. Future possible study can be conducted to analyze the relation of improvement in spelling skills with reading and writing skills respectively among pupils too. I would also like to explore and integrate the role of a trained peer tutor or spelling buddy in improving spelling skills among pupils. It would also be interesting to explore the combination of various media with jumble letters as a technique in teaching and learning process, as well as the use of technology in applying the technique. The technique used in this research is intended to provide teachers with an alternative on how to improve spelling skills among pupils. Spelling is important as it is closely linked to both reading fluency and comprehension. Spelling should not be treated as a separate skill. It is hoped that the teachers will be able to adapt this technique to their own particular pupils and situations. That's all from me. Thank you for your time.